Hey, good morning, everybody. Morning, Larry, Infinity, Maurizio, David, Dex, Sergio, Terrence, Chan, Francois. Good morning, everybody. Oh, got the wrong screen up. There we go. And there we go. Got the monster going, and got the pink grapefruit type monster. That's pretty tasty. Anyway, morning, Al, Rungamer. Hey, work on some Teslas. Anyway, how's everybody doing this morning? We got the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday this week. Remember, market closed on Thursday. We got a half day on Friday, early close at 1 p.m. Morning, Gregory, Don, Philip. Hey, everybody. And yeah, it should be a weird week. Just based on the history of me, last, I don't know, 25, 26 years. I guess 26 years of trading. This will be my 26th live money Thanksgiving holiday in the market. And I haven't seen one that was a banger yet. I haven't seen an awesome Thanksgiving week. Maybe some of you have. Morning, Merle, Ted, Nikki, Goose, my man. Tell you that rocket launch, beautiful. Tara, good morning. If you haven't watched the rocket launch, it was streamed live on X. If you go to the SpaceX X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, you go on there. The live replay is still there, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Goose and I have been swapping pictures back and forth, so that was a pretty amazing rocket launch that SpaceX did. Shot the Starship 2 on Saturday morning. If you're not in the know, that thing, cool thing. It both stage 1 and stage 2 did fail before they met the extended mission, but they did the hot staging separation, and the stage 2 got up to like 24,000 kilometers an hour before it terminated. And pretty cool stuff. Anyway, morning, Tim, Jason, Lee, Michael, Trader SLA. Welcome to the group, Trader SLA. Alan, Gary, Cliff, welcome everybody. And let's go ahead and jump into stuff, shall we? Jump into it. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. If you don't like losing, maybe trading is not for you, right? There's always risk of loss. Some trades have a higher risk of loss than others. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. Just because I got it right in the past doesn't mean I'll get it right in the future. Same for you. Make sure that you have a track record of getting it right before you put your real money on the line. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell anything. Not just financial instrument, but anything. Don't buy stuff, all right? Don't buy stuff from gurus. Don't buy stocks. Don't buy options. Don't buy cryptos. Don't buy futures. Don't buy Forex. Don't buy bonds. Don't sell them. Don't buy stuff from gurus. Don't buy stuff from gurus. Most of us are full of crap. You would not believe the number of people that do this right here that don't even trade. Blows my mind. Completely blows my mind. And a lot of them are full of crap too. Why paper trade? If you don't trade real money, you don't know what it's like. I mean, let's be for real, right? If you desire personal financial advice, you got to hire and consult a financial advisor. Has a fiduciary duty to give you advice based on your situation. So, coming up on Thanksgiving week, here we are. Last full week. I mean, well, technically last week was the last full week of trading in November. Because this week, we're closed Thursday, early close on Friday. Futures will reopen Thursday night at 6 p.m. and close at 1 p.m. on Friday, reopen at 6 p.m. on Sunday the 26th. And then we have 4 days left in the month, and then we start December. Next week, holy moly. Yeah, I mean, like, you can lose all the paper money you want. I mean, fake money, it's like, hey, I don't care. That's right, Mary. Paper money, no emotions, no real risk. No risk, period. There's no risk in paper trading. Unless you're very invested in the outcome of your paper account for some reason, you can just push the button to reset it. Like, oh, I messed that up. Reset. I mean, come on. And I trade with real money every day. I'm right there with you. Like, if that's what you're doing, don't follow me though. Now, I make decisions based on my personal situation. If you need to be able to do that yourself, and I mean, I throw my stuff out there as an example. I will explain anything I'm doing. Sometimes, I make bad decisions just like you do, and just like everybody else. So, all right. Yeah. Hey, Rick. Good morning. Enjoy the day. So, this week, not really much economic news wise. We got some unemployment claims on Wednesday. We do have NVIDIA earnings coming up on Tuesday after the close. We'll talk about that during 30 MA, 30 Minutes of Awesome at 5 p.m. on Tuesdays. Thursday, we do have the bank holiday and U.S. Thanksgiving. If you're not in the U.S., it's going to be kind of a lackluster day, although lots of European news coming out on Thursday. And then Friday, we have the Flash Manufacturing and Services PMI hitting. I will not be doing a show on Thursday, but I will be here on Friday. So set your calendars there. All right. Plan on spending the day with the family on Thursday, but I'll be right back at it. I mean, paper trading has it's I'm not saying don't ever paper trade. I'm just saying, like, if paper trading is all you ever aspire to, or if you're a guru and all you do is paper trade, what are you doing? Or why are you following somebody that paper trades? So it is a great tool. It has its place, it has its time, and for proving out new trading strategies, like if you're new to a guru, you learn a whole new strategy, you should paper trade it. Get 30 wins in a row. I'm saying, book 30 wins at least. Do at least 30 trades. Try to get 30 wins in your experience box before you go big. If it's a trade that only kicks off a couple times a year, you can do multiple positions, and kind of treat them different ways. Get the experience with this trade type, before you roll out in a bigger way. I mean, and some trades don't take. What I'm talking about is a new trade type. If you're just unfamiliar, don't know the mechanics, the trade type. Try to get 30 trades. Like if you've never done spreads before, do 30 spreads. Find out how they work. Find out what happens. You're not going to get executed on like you will with a real money account. But if you've never done spreads before, you've never done a covered call before, do 30 of them. You've never done debit spreads. You've never done credit spreads. All the different things. All right. There's, play them in paper, figure out what they were, how to make the orders, how to get the orders filled, that sort of thing. And then start small. Do one contract when you go real money. So, it does have its time and place, and I still do paper trades. I mean, I'm testing out some new strategy. I don't, some new instrument, some new strategy, some new way to do something. I may paper trade it to find out how the options move in that particular situation, or how the stock moves. Usually, just buying long stock, I just buy a share if I'm trying something new. So control your risk down to one share. Anyway, there you go. That's my, I guess, monologue about paper trading. All right, DGS2. Look at this. We're seeing this pull back. This is interesting. Keep an eye on this one. The DGS2 starts breaking down back below this area right here where we top. This is probably have to change the color of the zone here. We've got a little zone. We start getting below this zone. I'm going to change it to red. We start getting below that zone, and this might be the financial crisis getting going here. So, very cautious on this one. This got my attention over the weekend. Seeing this pullback. Pulling back is actually very strong for real estate investment trusts. I know, Goose, you've been chasing a bunch of those. I'm not saying that it's a good investment or a bad investment. real estate investment trusts benefit from a drop in interest rates, and they can swing. Right now, they can swing 5% in a week, and um, yeah, that's I track a bunch of that kind of stuff in my double dip trades system, and where the first instance I'm trying to get a bullish pattern on the stock using all my patterns, and the second instance I'm trying to get that double dip with a high yield, usually chasing 8 to 12%. I think in my typical hold, and I just buy shares. There's no options involved. Just buy a share and hold it. So I don't have a link for that system. I don't even know if it's for sale right now. But that's sitting out there as something else I do. Dividends is one of the first thing I ever learned to go after in the market, and I've been going after it ever since. There's something about getting paid, especially the monthly dividend payers. Something about those that wrong chart to do that on, like this one right here. Look at this baby. It's got a bullish pattern, roadmap line bounce. My entry was back here, 520, and my target is 7. I mean, that's a beautiful one. And you look at the dividend here. Look at that, 13.57%. I mean, and dividend crack. Yeah, and monthly payers. Pays 7%. 7 cents a month on a share. It's pretty strong. So I hold a portfolio of stuff like that, and that accounts. Gosh, I think it's. I don't even know. I think it's up 25% this year, something like that. On those, it's just a little $1,000 account that I hold these. One, 2 shares each, and powerful stuff right there. But you can't buy the garbage. I mean, I have a whole list of garbage. See, there's all these pairs, and some of these are absolute garbage. Like that one's just sideways choppy, and that one's popping. Some of these down here were in the abyss not that long ago. Yeah, that one's rocking. Look at that. I can't chase them all. I have to make a pick. You have to. Can't trade everything, so you have to do your best you can and try to find these that I go after the ones that have a good stock pattern, price pattern. See, that one's under the roadmap line. A little questionable there. But I just pulled up, you can do a Google search for dividend payers, monthly dividend payers, and you can pull up, there's a lot of websites that hold lists, and you can just grab these and pop them in. So, anyway, rolling on down the road. S&P 500 on Friday. Right there. Ending up, we just kind of went sideways, drifting higher a little bit into that close on Friday. What are we going to do? I'm feeling a pullback. I don't know if we're going to do it for sure. It would make a lot of sense if we pulled back and retested that downtrend, just like what we did right back here. Look, although we came back kind of violently, we didn't like arc off on that one. So we came up, hit the trend line, pulled back, popped up, briefly paused, busted through, and then we came back and retested it after we got some exhaustion. Now, we kind of paused briefly, busted through, but we haven't done the retrace. So this could go a little higher, but we could come back and retest that downtrend line. That would make a lot of sense. It's a pattern that happens. We did it over here. After a prolonged downtrend, that one's much bigger. This would be a small little fractal, 3-month pullback, bust up through, retest, and then go. So, there you go. Yeah, closing funds generally monthly. Yeah, but that's not the only. Like, there's lots of real estate investment trusts that pay monthly, Jeff. There's lots of. I've got like 200. This list has 128, but there's like 200 tickers I check for good patterns. So This is on a channel. I mean, you can't actually talk. You can chat on the live stream, but you can't. I'm the only one with video feed coming out to YouTube. So, all right. I don't have the ability to invite people in. Looks like we're going to pull back a little bit. There's the market open. S&P down a little bit. Watch for that arc. We could pull back. Yeah, everybody has permission to chat. All you have to do is be a subscriber. Click the link all the way over there on the other side. Little square button, green, says subscribe, I think. You just click that and be a subscriber. My little logo, and then you can chat with just like everybody else. So in Q, we don't want to look at that on this chart. We want to pop onto the other chart. And in Q, not open. Come on now. We came up and we've just been hovering right under that breakout. Now, we're either going to pull back or we're going to hover maybe the rest of this week and then pop. So 16.5 is the target, and we're like 70% likely to go tag it. That a substantial retrace would be back down either to the roadmap line or below. So we're 70% likely without getting a substantial retrace. That doesn't mean we won't come down here, tap that breakout of that trend line, and then launch right up here. Possibly like 40% chance-ish that we'll just pop up to 17,200-ish. So that's very strong. We're going higher at this point, and both the NASDAQ NQ and the S&P 500 ES kind of agree that we're likely to get that pop. We do have that, interestingly enough, that would kind of complete another shoulder here on a head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulders. That could potentially lead to a big pop if we actually filled it out. That could take us up into that 5,000 zone that I've been talking about. So that'd be interesting. All right, Russell here looks a little different though. There was no OBA gap on that one today. No overnight gap, just muddied it up. And we got a little bit of a retrace. We just break back. We need to go deeper to really see the pattern, like set up the pattern for a higher. We could just eke out a little higher high a couple times, but that just prolongs the inevitable correction that we're likely to do. Now, if we can pull back substantially, either a 50 or 618 retrace, hold that, turn back higher, break above, then we start making this look a lot better. But right now, I'm very, very cautious that this is a pattern that we can see ultimate failure and make substantially lower lows on Russell. That's IWM if you're unfamiliar with Russell. Russell 2000. That's all the small caps. Oil. Look at this baby go. Instead of closing on Friday, I think it was Friday, I doubled down when we were bouncing off of that 1272 level. So I doubled my position on UCO. I told you I'd probably add a couple times. I'll probably add again if we break above the roadmap line. And I'm out till April next year, looking for this thing to launch out of here. Could end in ultimate failure. We could just break down and go, all the way down here to 50, but it doesn't look likely at the moment. This reminds me a lot of what S&P just finished up doing right here. We did that little extension to the 1272. That's exactly what oil just did. Got that little, broke through the roadmap line, did a little retrace, faked me out. Now if we break above that, this high right here, right, game on for going higher. And change that back to orange. And somebody was asking for natural gas. Not usually one I hit, but look at that, back into the box. Probably going to the bottom of the box. Here's the line in the sand. You get below that 290, 288, 285 level. Depends on where exactly you put it, I guess. 285-ish. Get below that, probably coming back down here. I thought we were going to come back down here all the way back in August. I've been talking about this. So everybody thinks that we got to go higher because seasonality. Natural gas always goes higher in the winter. That could have been it. If we get some mild winters and don't really have any cold, that thing's probably coming right back down into this $2 area. Hate to burst your bubble if you're long natural gas. All right. Gold. Potentially bounce off the roadmap line. Stalled a little bit right here. Not the best place to stall. We need to break out. Got to get above these highs. And until we do, it's just going to keep consolidating around here. We break down, get below that prior low right there. Could extend lower. So not, while this was an initial positive bullish pattern, the lack of enthusiasm has me slightly concerned. Not concerned enough to close anything, just concerned. Bitcoin, I'm not even sure what, I was getting price reporting that was up here in the mid 38,000s last night on some platforms, but I'm not seeing that in the futures chart here, and I don't think we have it at Coinbase. And I don't see a price that was crazy high. I was getting some price reports from some of the exchanges I follow. So it must have been an anomaly last night. Well over 38,000 on some platforms. So some kind of, I guess there's a shortage of Bitcoin on some brokers. I think, since each broker in crypto is an island, there's no centralized price reconciliation. It's just up to arbitrage between the different brokers. I think some of the brokers have short supply of Bitcoin, and it's creating these price anomalies is what I'm seeing. And the line in the sand seems to be above 33,000, that people are not letting go of their Bitcoin. There's been a supply shortage. What do supply shortages lead to? Especially if we get some kind of ETF approval, you can get a crazy price spike higher. Now, if we do that, that's probably not the halving run. That's probably a shortage of Bitcoin, and we may even see a price spike higher than the prior high, and then it'll probably run right back down as people liquidate. So be careful out there. This thing's brewing, and I think we could see, it's not really a short squeeze, because I don't think people are, it's just a supply squeeze. People are holding, they don't want to let go, and it's just a shortage of supply and demand. We've seen this, it's kind of like tickle me Elmos years ago. The price of on the reseller market for a tickle me Elmo went to, people are paying $1,000 for a $50 toy at Christmas, because the supply just wasn't there. It's kind of like when new gaming consoles come out and they hit eBay, and people can charge double and triple for them just because of the supply shortage. So this may be a supply shortage. We may see prices could double or triple from here very quickly, and create an anomaly in the price, but then we see it come back right back down to this area, and then we could get the halving run. Of course, we could stay in short supply. Now, Ethereum, not the same situation. I did add a couple Ethereum back last night as we were bouncing off this 618 level, and my target's right up here at 23. So I think we could see that, this one's 70% likely to get that run up to 23. Dollar continuing its downward plunge. Probably I mean, we have some support and supply zones right in here where we flipped a couple times. We're coming right into the top of that. That can be a support, but we start getting below that, and it's looking likely we're going to extend on down lower at this point and run the low to the high. That 618 level we could hold and go higher, but we start getting below the 786 right there at 101. Odds are we're coming down to 97, maybe even 94. And we do have that confluence there at that 97 level down here. So we could see the dollar drop on down. That would support the market going higher. It's not a correlation necessarily, just that the dollar when the dollar is tending to drop, we do tend to see higher prices in the stock market. MELI right up almost to the target at 15. MSTR, I got long on this last week with a debit spread. I think it was a 500, 620. Looking for that pop up here, this area right there. Somewhere in that neighborhood. We tagged at 1272, retraced to the 100. Next move we would expect would be that 620. Now, it's only like 40% odds. So it's not the strongest setup, but it'll pay handsomely. I think I have $3,000 roughly on the line with one contract, with a potential to pay out 4x that. So $12,000 roughly payout. So that'd be pretty strong. Pam. Nice pop. That's a roadmap line bounce. What are you sorry for? Infinity. 53, 58 would be the upside targets there. BMA. Banco Macro. Banco Macro. That one, same situation, 30 and 33, upside targets. BA, look for resistance right here, coming into the zone. We can turn back down. I don't have a stop on my monster. I may lose it all. It's $3,000 at risk. And the timeline is out through next year. So LEGN, biotech, be careful. That's just sitting on the roadmap line, may break lower. VIST, that's a roadmap line bounce. Looks like 35 and 38 on the upside. YPF, as I said, don't copy my trades, but yeah, I'm throwing it out there as an example. YPF, 17 and 20 on the upside. Crisp, oh, look at that baby go. 81 and 93 upside. That is another biotech pharma thing. Biopharma, medtech, be careful. Coin, breaking above the resistance. I have a synthetic at 60. Synthetic long. Looking for that pop up to the 125, 141, possibly 160 or higher. Maybe even 200 if we get really spicy. And we could see that shortage in crypto could play out here. And looks pretty strong. Looks pretty strong. Now, another thing I'm seeing, like Mara really hugging that roadmap line. We start breaking above 12 and then 14. That one's probably going to run pretty hard. Riot looks a lot better. It's already been softening up above the roadmap line. We break out above that $13 area. That one's probably going to do a monster run, and we could see prices up here 60 to 100 pretty strong. And then BTBT is also just hugging that roadmap line, similar to Mora. So it looks, less awesome than Riot, but still pretty strong. And Hut 8 has been the exception here, and it's been pushing way down. It's hanging out at the lows. This one is a laggard and not looking nearly as strong as those other ones. So yeah. And then GGAL potential long on the move up through this resistance right there. You see where we consolidated, move up through that stuff, probably back above 17, looking for 20 and 23. XOP potential to bounce off the roadmap line here and go higher. USO, seeing a lot of oil on the list this morning with that move up. That was a little deep for a market roadmap bounce, but we did hit the 1272 on the downside there. We break back above that gap fill, back above 75, probably heading on up. And I need to realign the fibs here. Highest high, lowest low. 85 and 90 are the upside targets there. EDU, that one just keeps chugging higher. Not slowing down. I expect a pullback at some point here. It's going to be a ridiculous move. CAAP, roadmap line bounce potentially, but red candle not showing continuation. That one can retrace right back down. Be careful. We need that close up in here. And really, with that consolidation, you almost need a close up around 1450 to 15 to look for 16 and 17. UCO, also another bounce potential, filling the gap. And this was a chart of the week previously. There you go. All that stuff I said before, still valid. We don't have the conservative entry above 34.50 yet. Conservative target 37, target 39, aggressive target 42, and super aggressive right up there. There you go. URI, United Rentals. That one, another market roadmap bounce. Target right there, 519, 555 above that. Got a little pullback, but looking strong. Toyota Motors, upside target right up here at the next resistance, 204. That one hadn't touched the roadmap line in a while. At some point, she's going to give back a bigger retrace. BMY, that's garbage chart. Whew. Not a garbage company, but that's a accelerating dumpster fire of a chart right there. Be careful. It's accelerating down, and there's no real. I mean, we're pushing below that low there, so it leaves us like the COVID low all the way down here around 40, or the low prior to the COVID low down around 37. Be careful. Uber, man, look at that one. Extension target 55. I would protect profits. I wouldn't necessarily expect to pop to 60 before we get another retrace. You can see it does a retrace, pop, retrace, pop. Could get up in this 60 area, but it's unlikely that before we see another retrace. And we did very rapidly pop up and then drift higher, and then we retraced. So there you go. OPTX. That looks like it's going lower. CAMT. Potential to go up to 84. And didn't quite hit the roadmap line, but 70 and 76 would be intermediate upside resistance. AGQ. Ultra silver does not look the most bullish. Look at this downtrend. I'm bullish long term on silver, but this ultra silver it's not looking too no bueno there. That looks like a 3-wave move up. Resistance right at the line. We could go lower low. It's kind of a channel going down. Till we start breaking above that, I wouldn't be chasing that one. And all right. I saw a few others get thrown out in the chat, like CVX. I mean, there could be an opportunity to go long there. That looks pretty gnarly on the daily chart. It is almost a weekly chart. Market roadmap bounce. We could get a little lower. Reach right down there. And then, what was the other one I saw? Somebody else throw out an energy. COP. And that one did a market roadmap bounce. Nice potential. Not really an BKKT. I'll put that. All right. We'll look at that in a second. That right there would be the more conservative entry. 122. Looking for 131, 136. BKKT. Oh, yeah. Look at that baby go. I'm going to get long that. That could be a reversal. That was a 1272 extension right here. Look, 1272 extension, breaking above the roadmap line. That's everything I look for in a reversal. And I may buy some shares, and that one can go up substantially from here. That's shorted like crazy, and we could see a pop up to this $9 area pretty quickly. 5 to 9. Not saying do it, just there's an opportunity. That's a low probability, not a high probability type move. All right. Alrighty. Well, bias for the day, right? Still cautious. We could break out higher, but we look like we're topping. This week is not the week to be overly aggressive. And as mentioned in the description, NVIDIA, we've got limited upside at 532, 571-ish. Throw out different prices depending on the settings of the chart. If we go to, depends on where I've got my fib lines attached there. So I just changed it, 531, 569, roughly 530 or 560. And since we're not breaking a higher high, and we may not break a higher high before earnings, I would watch out. We could get a substantial retrace right back to the roadmap line to hold a higher low, or we could even get a retrace back, test that same downtrend line like I've been talking about on ES, S&P 500 and NASDAQ. We could get a retest of that before we pop higher. So it looks like odds are for a move lower on earnings, even if it's just a temporary flash, flash down and pop. So be careful on chasing NVIDIA. We did see Walmart come down here, now finding support at the roadmap line. That one was pushing higher, and ouch. I don't know. We'll see what happens here on earnings for NVIDIA coming up tomorrow. Otherwise, stay safe out there. I'll be in Discord all day. If you got more questions, you can come chat with me. And yeah, be careful out there. Holiday week. So usually it's not a banger of a week. Be careful. All right. Some other people may say it's ripe with opportunity, but I'm cautious. All right. There'll be a lot of people, a lot less participants this week as people go hang out with family, go visit family, go take trips. Be less traders on the desk, less volume typically. So be safe out there. Remember, it's not being wrong that costs you money. It's staying wrong. Don't stay wrong. Know where you're cutting your limits. And I'll see you again tomorrow. I'll be back with you tomorrow.